Hi, it's Dr. Lifton. I wanted to talk about Brian Thompson. People are happy and celebrating. A man was killed, and it's very weird. I certainly, being in private practice, have a tremendous amount of hatred for the healthcare system. Our healthcare system is not working well. We have the worst healthcare for the most money, and it's very simple to say that the healthcare insurance industry is evil. They're making money by not providing care. They're collecting premiums and then trying to not pay for things that clearly they should pay for, and then making more money by denying the claims. And people know that. So it's easy to say that these are evil companies. It's easy to say that the people who run these companies are evil people. And it's easy to be happy that one of them was killed. I don't know that this is a good thing. I don't know that it's a good thing that we're happy that somebody was killed, or that some of us are happy that a person was killed. As a general rule, most of the people, most of the time, are going to agree that killing isn't great, and that only some situations permit this as an ethical act. Obviously, I could be in war and I kill my mortal enemy. They're the bad guys from a different country. But that rule isn't allowed domestically. If you live here and you're my fellow countrymen and we're both citizens of the same place, we can't kill each other as enemies. There are other rules for my own countrymen. I could be a hero because I killed someone who was a school shooter. He's there with his machine gun, he's shooting all the kids, and I have a weapon, I kill him, and people are like, oh, you're a hero, you killed that guy. That is in a situation of self-defense or the defense of others. But if the school shooter stops shooting, puts down his weapon, runs away, goes through the woods, he's somewhere else, and it's, an hour later, I see him, and I shoot him now, some people will still be very happy with me. But now it's getting a little fuzzy because he's a little bit removed from the situation, and it's not an immediate threat to other people. Legally speaking, it changes. I'm not really allowed to kill him now. No, legally, nobody thinks that this event where someone walks up to Brian Thompson and shoots him is legal. Obviously, that's a criminal act, but crimes may not be necessarily immoral. But this ability to kill him and be happy means that we've done something. We've dehumanized him. We're not reacting to him as a person, as a human being who's a father and who's a husband and who has, I think he's a father. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. as a person who has a family, who has people he loves. I mean, I don't know, maybe he's a narcissist, nobody loves him. But let's be honest about ourselves. We're not thinking about him as a human. We've dehumanized him. He's become this evil entity, this evil non-human who is participating in the destruction of our health care. And as a CEO, as a person who's running a company, as a person who wants to be a good leader of a corporation, optimizing revenue, I think it's very easy for people to take some of the actions of the company and compartmentalize them and move them out of their immediate thought process because, you kind of have to do that. I don't think that the CEO of Coca-Cola is worrying about the obesity produced by the junk food. I don't think that the CEOs of alcohol companies are concerned about the fact that some people are alcoholics. The CEOs of the tobacco companies, the CEOs of the pesticide companies where they're using stuff that causes cancer. There's a lot of companies doing a lot of stuff that creates a lot of harm, and that harm has to get justified. And I think we all have to justify some of our actions for doing something else. And that responsibility of making sure that the corporations are behaving ethically isn't supposed to be in the hands of the CEO. This man is not supposed to be in charge of making sure that United Healthcare is behaving ethically, because the system's not set up that way, right? The government is supposed to regulate the industry in a way that forces the actors to behave the way we want. So the United Healthcare's ability, or any of the insurers' ability to behave in the ways that they're behaving, should be limited by the government saying, okay, you can't do this, this isn't fair. This isn't right. You can't kill people for money. You guys are killing people for money because you're not paying for their health care and then they're dying. If a company is supposed to operate to maximize their revenue and they're following those rules, their revenue is supposed to be limited by not being allowed to break laws that are going to cause more harm than good. And so companies that pollute have had to not pollute because we're like, hey, that's bad. We want to breathe air and we're not going to let you do this. And they're like, oh, this is going to cost us more money. We're going to make less money now and we don't want these regulations. But we force it. We force those regulations because we need to limit their ability to just do whatever they want. And this role of government makes the company free of moral responsibility. And so labeling him as evil is tricky. And I think the reason for all of the frustration towards these people is that no one who is laughing about this, no one who is enjoying this, believes that that system is functioning. Okay, those are people who think, hey, this system is broken, this system is corrupt, and the government is allowing these corporations to do stuff that there is no way they should be allowing them to do. There is no way that it's reasonable that these people get to deny care the way that they're doing it, so aggressively and so ruthlessly and so obviously inappropriately on many occasions. They have government in their pocket. And people are getting really frustrated with, I think, that issue. I think that is at the heart of it. So at the heart of this glee, joy, making fun of the death of a man who's been dehumanized, I think, it's about the corruption and it's about the frustration and the failure of the government to rein in these corporations who are honestly really ruining our healthcare. Our system is very broken, and it's very broken because we're letting them get away with murder. I think that's an accurate phrase. And this is an interesting development, so much anger leading to killing the CEOs. I don't think the CEOs will self-regulate. I think you can kill all the CEOs. I think you kill all the people. I think you can try to decapitate all these companies. You can kill all the CEOs, kill all the members of the board. You can kill all the CFOs and COOs, and it won't change the problem. I don't think it's going to be in any way, shape, or form a reasonable solution because those companies need to exist. New people will come, and the driving force, if you're going to run a company, is to just generate the maximum amount of profits possible. And so they're still going to behave, those actors are going to behave the same way because if they're going to do a good job, that's what they're supposed to do. So I think that isn't an effective way of expressing the anger. And I'm also not sure that this is going to cause the government to want to create a more effective regulatory pattern. So I'm not sure that it's a good act of violent disobedience in terms of its political productivity, and our response to it in terms of feeling a little bit of relief because we're so angry and so frustrated might be misplaced. And I hope someone can turn this into something more useful. You know, those people who've advocated violent dissent against government, taking up arms because the situation is so bad, typically don't say we ought to attack the billionaires who are running corporations, but maybe they're in charge of government, so maybe that's an interesting ploy. I don't know. If you're finding yourself happy that this has happened, maybe take a minute to think what's really bothering me. And I think, and I don't know because this is, a difficult situation, I think what's really bothering me is I've lost faith in my government's ability to regulate the industry properly because I don't trust that they're not corrupt in their actions, and I don't know how to actually effect change in the government to stop this sort of corruption. And I think that's a big issue. And I think maybe this man is possibly the wrong target. And maybe what we can do is find a more effective political activity that could try to address that issue. And anyway, that's my thought on it.